What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Miles Morales from Spider-Man 2, a video game which I think, so far, is phenomenal. Slight spoilers, maybe, for the game. I haven't completed it. I'm only like 30% of the way in, and the only mission I've gotten to is when they fight Lizard in the sewer. That's as far as I got. So, I haven't finished it, but from what I've played, I absolutely love it. We got it in the back, just like the Peter Parker video. Go check that one out. And yeah, I think it's a phenomenal game. Right off the bat, I'm gonna just say it. I'm absolutely loving it. I got work in the morning, and I had to make this video so I can actually get it out before the end of October, because I do want to have another video to end out October that's Halloween related. May or may not be Ghostface. So I needed to get this out. And I decided, instead of, making this video at a reasonable hour and then going to bed, to play Spider-Man 2 until 3 o'clock in the morning. So looks like I'm not going to be getting much sleep tonight, but it was 100% worth it. I absolutely love the game. And I love Miles. I played, like I said in the Peter review, I played both of the previous games, of course, and although I do prefer the first Spider-Man game over Miles, and if I were to rank it, Miles is my least favorite of the three games, I still really liked it. I think Miles is a really well done character in the games. I really like him. It doesn't bother me when we switch from Peter to Miles in Spider-Man 2. Although some of his storylines aren't the strongest, I do like his Lee storyline. I think that's very interesting. And I just love him as a character, and I love his suit. It's so good. I mean, they nailed it so perfectly in the first game that they barely even tweaked it. I think all they did was make the suit darker and then add the red lines on the arms. I think it's a perfect design. I think they perfectly encapsulated comic book accurate Miles in a live action, since it's kind of live action video game. So yeah. And this, of course, if it isn't very overtly obvious, this is a figure of Miles from the Spider-Man game. If this video sounds off, it's because, like I said, it's like 3 in the morning. That's when I'm recording this, but, I'm doing this for you all, to pump out the most mid-reviews on YouTube. But yeah, and this is actually, as opposed to the Peter figure, a phenomenal figure who really doesn't have too many problems. So before we get into Miles, that sounded wrong, we of course will be taking a look at his box, and it has the same Gamerverse style packaging with the white and the black, which I really love. It's a nice change of pace from the normal Marvel Legends boxes when they add white, and they actually, I'm not the biggest fan of the design of the windowless packages for the Marvel Legends line, but the Gamerverse ones actually made it look good. You got a not trash posed render of Miles for once. Usually, especially Peter, they're in an atrocious pose on the front. You got the nice shot of Miles in black and white back there. Got it at New Dimension Comics. Only $24. That's going to be a thing I'm going to bring up. That this was regular price and the Peter was deluxe. And when we look at the accessories, you'll be shocked as to how one was 30 and the other one was only 25. Actually, it's 35. Not 30. But yeah, I got Spider-Man 2, plastic-free packaging, Hasbro warning, Spider-Man game logo, Marvel Legends 4+. If you're a 3-year-old, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to play with Miles Morales. You're just gonna have to suffer. Yeah, anyone under the age of 3 and 4, you just can't have fun with toys. Got a nice, just a shot of the Miles figure there. Gamerverse! They thought it was cool as hell when they came up with that line, and it just isn't. Then you got that beautiful shot of Miles from that one, gameplay trailer from, 2021. Looks beautiful. Kind of tore the packaging there, but it is what it is. And Miles in a interesting pose. He looks like it just looks like his back is hurting in this picture, along with the many accessories he has. Spider logo, a bunch of whatever. Warning, small parts, don't eat the cat. And that's about it for the box. And bringing in Mr. Morales himself, I love this figure. I really do. And one thing is, he's got a lot of accessories. Notice how he has the thwip hand on that arm. They didn't only give him one thwip hand, because, as we look, he comes with 2 thwips and 2 fists. And I don't know if these are the same accessories as the Miles Morales game one that came in the No Way Home wave, because I didn't get that figure. I got this one. I saw it in stores and I was like, yo, that's cool. And I was like, I might get it, and then I decided not to. I decided to hold off, and I never saw it again until I saw this guy. And because the reason why I say that is because the sculpt on the hands is a different design from the game. They just painted the red that would be there on the game, which makes me think that it's just reuse of the previous figures accessories, which, I mean, hell, he's stacked, so it's definitely worth it. And a thing which, I mean, Peter only came with 1. Miles comes with 2 wall-crawling hands. This guy's $10 cheaper than the Peter, and Miles has already more hand accessories. Looks great. Painted pretty well. I will get into some of the paint squams with this figure later on. And finally, you can't have Miles without his Venom attack, which is, of course, just a translucent hand with a bit of lightning. Looks really cool. This time in blue. I know the previous one was in orange because his lightning kind of changed in the game, which looks really cool. And I feel like I should just at least put one of the hands on. Fun fact, until this review, I didn't even take the accessories out of the bag. So yeah, you can have him doing the Venom Strike or whatever. Did they change the name since the character Venom's in the game now? Is this even in focus? Yeah, that looks really cool. You can kind of recreate the box, except it's not a punch. He's just like, I don't know. He's gonna give you the most insane Riz touch ever. He's gonna, I don't know, Peter, you're getting rizzed up on, gonna hit you with the, hey, and then just launch you. Isn't that what he does to Miguel in Spider-Verse? It is what he does. Does he say hey, though? I know he taps his shoulder and shocks him back, but I don't know if he says hey. I think it might be the scene where he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, and then shocks him back. It would have been legendary if he did the hey on Miguel. But yeah, and the greatest accessory of all, we cannot forget this one. Spider-Man. The real figure of Spider-Man. I know we got these 2 phonies right here. This is the real Spider-Man. Looking at Spider-Man himself, herself, I don't actually know. I don't remember, but the cat is beautifully sculpted, looking like it's playing with something. My one qualm is I wish they gave it the mask. The little Spider-Man mask that it has. Also, fun fact, the guy who played Castle, Buck in Halo, was in Guardians 3. He voices the mascot of T.O. in Spider-Man 2. I stumbled upon them, and I was like, oh my god, is that Nathan Fillion? I think that's his name. And I was like, it sounds exactly like him. And then I saw a post today that said it was him, and I was like, yo, that's legendary. And the guy, I think Alan Tudyk, the guy who played K2SO in Rogue One, voiced the other mascot guy there, which I think is really cool. But it's painted really well. It's a cool accessory. Already way better accessories than Mr. Peter Parker over here. He came with a lot of webs, not as many hands, and really only one web accessory that I think is really cool, the one that you wapple wound. Oh, where did that come from? Can you tell it's late? The one that wraps around. My god. Finally, we're at Miles. Now, when I first got this figure, I was like, why doesn't he have an alternate head? And I made the blasphemous statement, I'd rather have the alternative head than the cat. I take it back. The cat's awesome. I didn't realize how awesome the cat was. I feel like even then I was like, I still love the cat. but I really want an unmasked head. And I was like, oh, that's kind of lazy of them. And then they revealed that Miles has a completely different haircut in the game, and I'm like, it's probably why they didn't give him the other head, because he has a completely different hairstyle and it wouldn't be accurate. But one thing I will say about this figure, I'm not 100% sure this isn't just the first release of this Miles figure, because yeah, the only difference design-wise is the stripe down the arm, and they might have given him new arms, but I have a feeling that they just painted red down the original one's arms. I could be wrong, but beyond that, I'd say the 90% of this figure is the exact same as that Homecoming one. Homecoming? No Way Home. Ooh, wrong movie. So if you have that figure, this one you could probably pass up on. I don't think the designs change enough. And I know in the game, the Miles Morales suit is a bit grayer than the Spider-Man 2 suit. This one's a lot darker in the game, but I don't know if that's replicated on the figures. I think they might just be the same shade of black, which is weird how gray it was in the first game. It's really noticeable when you switch between the suits in the new game, but yeah, this figure's awesome. Unlike Peter, they gave him a fully unique sculpt, and although, as much as many problems with this guy, I do love their New Year Vows body. They just don't look like they go together. Peter desperately needs his own unique sculpt. Even if it isn't as much fun as their New Year Vows body, I'd rather have a fully unique sculpt like Andrew. Like, this looks more natural. And I would say if any of them, the live action Spideys, would have a Miles, I feel like it'd be Andrew. Although design-wise, I feel like he matches with Toby a bit better, but vibe-wise, I feel like Andrew would be the one to go with him. But yeah, this is a really great figure. The sculpt is beautiful, so let's just get right into it. Head sculpt looks great. I'm going to try to showcase him. My camera, since it's trash, doesn't like picking up two colors, black and red, and that's the colors of Miles. So hopefully you can kind of see what's going on. But the head sculpt looks beautiful. He's got that beautiful texture throughout the webbing area, and just beautiful textures throughout. And the webbing is painted really well. I have like an odd like white blotch there, because I think they might paint like silver or white down and then the red. And one complaint I will say about the red on this figure is I feel like they needed to add an extra coat or two, because it's very dull, especially when I bring in this figure. You can see how dull the red is, and also some of it, like the hands look very shiny, like you can definitely tell it was silver underneath. Might be my copy, might be the others, but it's not too bothersome. And rather than that, everything else is painted really well. Come down to the chest, you got that beautiful spider logo, which is barely even in focus. More of that gray texture. Then the red coming around down the arms. It's got like a weird line there, which I'm assuming the paint overlapped when they were adding it. And it's on both sides. It's a bit strange, but yeah, it's just a red stripe. It's kind of the inverse of the Across the Spider-Verse design, where did I say wed? Why am I talking like that tonight? Where it's like this on the outside, this on the inside, which I think's pretty cool. Then on the back, you got his back Spidey logo. Paint chip there, but that might just... I don't know if that was there originally or not. But this side's perfectly fine. Got more of the red there. Then just the rest of the beautiful sculpt. Miles's legs. They got that MCU lining going on here. Slight texture throughout. Then come down to red at the bottom of the feet. I'm not 100% sure if any of that was in focus, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, and the weird belt thing, which I don't mind. I've seen some people complain about it, but honestly, it's not too bad. The one thing I will say is I feel like his legs might be a little strange. I don't know, I feel like they might be coming out a bit too much, but rather than that, I think this is great. I love this figure a lot. I think it's great. Articulation-wise, he kind of lacks because he definitely doesn't have the Renew Your Vows level articulation, but does have a dumbbell joint, which kind of looks up pretty far for a dumbbell joint. Still think all Spideys and flying characters should have a ball hinge, because that just certifies you can look up to space. Looks down that far, bit of bobbing, rotation, arm moves out that far, butterfly joint moves that far back. Feels like it should move further back, but it doesn't, and that far forward. Not the best butterfly, I will say. Arm, bicep rotation. Whew, that was rough. Double jointed elbow, hinge in and out with rotation. I believe on all the hands, yes. And of course, rotation there. Ab crunch, which moves that far forward, and it does break apart the spider symbol, so that does look a bit strange. But when you move it back that far, it still has the webbing painted, which is nice. Waist rotation, can kick that far forward, not really far back, even though he's kind of flat back there. And he can do the splits pretty well, which, I mean, if you're a Spider-Man, you definitely should. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee, hinge up and down, and a rocker. Also, does getting bit by the spider just instantly make you way more flexible? One of the many questions I have. But yeah, overall I think it's a great figure. Now for some size comparisons. Like always, we gotta bust out our usual for an average Voyager class Transformers figure and an average Black Series scale figure. Here is Commander Appo and Optimus Prime. That was the worst imitation of Optimus I might have ever heard. But yeah, so oddly enough, he is the size of a clone, which is weird. I do think Black Series is slightly shorter. Marvel Legends are like slightly bigger than Black Series, which is kind of annoying. And this is very much out of scale, of course. Optimus is not this small, unless it's in Fortnite, then he's really small. And for a 7 in scale comparison, here he is next to a DC McFarlane and a Jazzwares Halo, The Flash, and Master Chief. This is the Halo 3 version. And yeah, he's definitely not in scale. Well, he's kind of in scale with Master Chief, because I think, isn't canonically Master Chief like 6'9" or 7 feet tall? So this would realistically make sense. Master Chief next to a teenage boy. And for some Spidey fun, here he is next to his fellow Milesverse brothers, the SH Figure Arts Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales, and the 10th Anniversary Miles Suit Carded Collection Marvel Legends Miles. I think I got the names right. A lot of word there. Here he is next to his fellow Spidey, and next to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Tom Holland's a bit shorter than Miles. And for, I mean, I already know I whipped them out, but here he is next to Tobes and the Garf. Man, Garfield just he just looks so good with Miles, man. That just goes to show that this Garfield figure's just amazing. I love it so much. That came out this year, right? I think so. Yeah. Dang. I've got way too many figures this year because I finally had the money to do that. So now I've just lost track of all the things I bought. And finally, here he is next to the 19 inches himself, Venom. This is the Null and Venom 2-pack, which I will attempt to review next. Should be able to do it. And yeah, this isn't to scale. Venom is much bigger in the game, but, you know, looks really good. And they actually look like they go together, because this is the movie body just painted up in a comic way, which is really cool. Love this figure. So that's about it. Was that a voice crack? I'm not sure. If it was another not as enthusiastic or kind of like chill review, it's because it's 3 a.m. I don't know what pose I'm putting him in. So yeah, do I recommend this figure? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is a phenomenal figure. And this Miles is perfect because since it's the realistic style, you can put it with people like Garfield and people like Tom Holland, and it would work really well. And until Miles appears in live action, this is the best live action Miles we have. Although, if you do want the unmasked head, I would recommend getting the No Way Home version. Might be a bit more expensive because it came out like I think a year before this one. So this one might be easier to get. I think they were both retail the same price, but you know how the aftermarket is. But yeah, look at the red on this. The red on that is not the red on this. This is way duller. It's my true only complaint with the figure is that the red needed a couple more coats to be more vibrant. But beyond that, I think it's a phenomenal figure. I highly recommend it. Solid 8 out of 10. It's not going to blow your mind away when you pick it up, but it's a really fun figure and I really like it. And I do highly recommend it. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. Got a lot of Spider-Man. Got more Spider-Man stuff to go. Got a lot of Marvel Legends to go. Some Halo stuff. A lot of Black Series. And I will try to get to the Transformers. They take a lot of time to record because I gotta transform them all. But yeah, check out my Instagram, MoonandXO. You can talk to me there. See how much money I've just thrown away into buying figures. You know what I bought today? I bought this. I bought an Indoraptor, and he can chomp. I took the batteries out because he's like kind of loud, and I didn't want to annoy everyone in the house. This is what I do with my money. I bought like a giant one, but it's a little too big. So yeah, if you want to go check out that stuff, and you know my art, and I've taken a bunch of pics in the Spider-Man game, and I've uploaded some of that if you want to check that out too. So yeah, MoonandXO. So that's about it. Have a beautiful day, and be greater together. Oh yeah, almost forgot. I wanted to show off the bag, since this is technically the last of the Spider-Man 2 videos. When I got the game, GameStop gave me this really cool bag. I mean, you've probably, if you bought something at GameStop, probably got the bag, but it's like a Spider-Man 2 bag. It looks really cool. I really like it. That's it. Peace. Oh, the video didn't end. I missed the end record button, but just time to get a little Spider-Man in there. Alright, now peace.